Welcome to our first midweek mindset check-in of 2024. Okay, I'm so happy that you are here and have decided to join me. All right, so what we're gonna do is midweek mindset check-ins are gonna be like a moment with Coach DJ. Okay, there are so many things that people struggle with before they even put on workout clothes and get to go to work out, right? There's a lot of things going on up here that kind of defeat some people before they even get started. Okay, so that's what we're here to work on. These mindset check-ins midweek are important. Let me tell you why midweek check-ins are important. Midweek check-ins are important because we all know how crazy life can get, right? You can have all these plans on Sunday night. You're like, yeah, I set my week up and everything. And then Monday morning, all the fires start to firing, okay? And you just are dealt with a lot of competing priorities, all right? And so you cannot blame anyone else but yourself if you don't have time for yourself, because ultimately you are in control of your day, right? And so what usually happens is a bunch of different things, right? People get overwhelmed by life and then their selves get put on the back burner. So this is what these midweek check-ins are going to be, to kind of, poke you and be like, hey, where we at today? Okay, because we still got some week left and we'll be able to get ourselves back on track. All right, don't beat yourself up because you didn't do something or because let me just break in here and tell y'all a story. Okay, shout out to Coach Stephanie Julia. All right, now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I took a couple of challenges with Coach Stephanie Julia. She had a 21-day consistency challenge for working out, and I actually won that challenge, and the prize was a 3-day trip to Mexico. All right, and when I tell you that I didn't have to spend anything on that trip besides what I wanted to, everything was taken care of. Top-notch room, top-notch food, every excursions were on point. All right, so that's just a little shout out to her, but I think y'all might have missed out on that one because I don't think she's doing that specific challenge anymore. But let me just get to the personal story. She recently did a challenge, 21 days, get more clients, right? Listen, when we started off in the beginning of that thing, I was on it, right? I was like, yes, this is exactly what I need for my business right now. We're going to do it. All the information that she gave was top tier. When this challenge first started, I was in it, right? I was going every day. I was doing my little 15 minutes on my business, doing the action steps and things like that, engaging in the group. And then I realized that I really didn't factor in the fact that I have to work during the day, right? So that kind of hindered me, because once work threw me out of like whack as far as like my competing priorities, I couldn't even really think about logging on to participate in the challenge. It was just that crazy. So that taught me I really need to tweak my schedule so that I can identify the times that I can work on my business, okay? Because let's just face it, sometimes you think you have more time than you have and you just don't have it. So my point is, we all fall victim to life, throwing things out of whack as far as your schedule. All right, so the midweek check-in is for us to ask ourselves 3 questions to try to get ourselves back on track. All right, so question number 1 is, can you look back at your week so far and identify one positive step that you've taken towards your goals this week? That's question 1. Answer it honestly to yourself, or you can put it in the chat below as well, but definitely ask yourself question number 1. So question number 2 is, what kind of strategy can you see that you may have used this week to keep you on track with your wellness and fitness goals? Put that in the chat below because I want to know as well. I'll share a strategy that I've been using, okay? There's certain things that I need to do in the morning. And if I don't do them in the morning, then they won't get done. And working out is one of them. So I added my workout to my morning routine, right? Your morning routine could be as short or as long as you want it to be. But for me, I need that in the morning because that also helps me be productive throughout the day because I got the blood flowing and things like that. And I kept the promise to myself that I made and I actually followed through on it, right? So my strategy was to include the most important thing that I wanted to get done during the week in my morning routine, all right? So number 3 is, what is one small intention that you're setting for yourself to help prioritize your wellness goals? Put that in the comments below because these are the questions that are going to keep us on track. It's going to make us think, oh, what am I doing now? I want to get into the people who feel like their day gets away from them, right? and you're probably irritated with people at work because of it. You're probably irritated with whoever is just tugging on your shirt asking you for something, right? Like, these are the people I need to talk to right now, because you are in charge of your day. So if you wake up and you just shoot out of bed and you just immediately go to work, you did that to yourself. You have not prepared yourself. You have not done any of that to make sure that you are in a great state before you start your day. It could be anything. It could be a few moments to yourself just to reflect and be thankful on the things that you do have, or the things that are going right? Like, you're in total control of it, right? And so you have to decide how you're going to get this me time in. Now, everybody says, oh, it's not enough hours in a day. I need this, I need that, I got this, I got to do that. Right. I do get it. And listen, coming from the number one procrastinator that always has something to do. Like, you're never going to hear me say I'm bored. Anybody that has ever talked to me outside of real life knows that if you call me, I'm about to do something. Because I'm always about to do something. And it's never I'm about to talk on the phone. Okay. So nothing personal, but I never have moments where I'm just like, I don't have anything to do and I just want to waste my time on the phone. No. So anyway, so I get it. But what I had to realize was that there are 24 hours in a day. And yeah, sometimes you might be like, oh, I get off work at this time and then I go to bed this time and then I don't get enough sleep and this, that, and the other. My answer, I thought that I didn't have enough time in the day. I did. It was because I was trying to do too many things in the day. Like, you really have to be realistic and realize you can only do what you can do when you can do it. All right. You have to realize that. All right. So that's number one. And the answer for me was to actually create a schedule that I can follow. Now, when you hear schedule, you're thinking, I gotta be here at this time and this time, this time. No, I'm not like that. I don't like to be rushed. I don't like to be like in a rigid schedule where like meetings are back to back. Like, I can't stand that, right? So I definitely had to sit down and really think about what is gonna work for me. I started to think about school age kids, because I remember when my son was at elementary school, and I remember how hard it was for me as a single parent to try to get him to daycare, get to work a full 8 hours, and then get him on time, not to have to pay any late daycare fees. I'm so glad that that part of my life is over. But guess what? We made it through, right? We made it through. But it had me thinking about, kids pretty much go to school whenever they're told to go to school. Now, yeah, they may have some moments where they're like, oh, my stomach hurts and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're going to school regardless of how they feel, but they have a routine. Get up in the morning, you take a bath, you brush your teeth, you get some breakfast, you get on the bus, you get to school, you see your friends, you got some time for arts and crafts, you got some time for rest, you got some time for academics, you got some time for, they put all of the things that they need in that day. And regardless of how the kid feel, they got to go through those, each of those scheduled blocks per day, right? So this is what I did for myself. I don't like to be rushed, and I really don't like to be told what to do, all right? I like to be able to move in like a smooth way throughout my day. That's just me, right? And if it happens any other way, then I might not be as pleasant, right? So anyway, for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the school age situation as far as how they block their day for like recess, nap, academics, arts and crafts and stuff like that, and figure out what do I need in my day for me to be the best that I could be, feel like my best self, right? And for me, I need to have my water in the morning. I need to have time to actually wake up and, reflect in the morning and go over my intentions for the day. Like, what am I thankful for? What am I setting out to do today? What do I have to do today? What are the biggest priorities, right? And then I block my day like that. All of the important things that I have to do, I have to figure out what is the most productive time of the day for me, and I put those important things there, and I stick to it. And I don't have a rigid time schedule. It's just time blocks. Like, from 12 to 1, I'm at lunch. Now, what I'm doing at lunch, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just at lunch. I can be eating, I can be reading a book, I can do whatever I want to do in my lunch hour, right? So if you feel like you are not getting to be your best self before you even start your day, then you really need to sit down and look at your schedule. One exercise that helped me figure out what I was actually doing all day was to write out every hour on the clock, 24 hours, like even the time that you sleep, and actually write down what you do for the whole day. don't change it, but just, oh, well, from this time to this time, I was cooking, or for this time to this time, I was talking to my mother, or for this time to this time, I was watching TV, or whatever, right? Or I work late. Like, really take a blank piece of paper and write down all the hours of the day and just kind of take it with you throughout the day and record what you're doing. Once you get a full 24 hours filled that you can see what you did, now you can go back and be like, okay, I'm wasting time here. Why was I doing that for so long? What else could I be doing? Now, it doesn't even have to be like really strict. It could just be, maybe you work in the morning and maybe you have relaxation at night, or maybe you work in the morning, you do your business at night, and then in the middle of the day you do something else. But you have to really, really look at your schedule. All right, if you are one of those people that feel like you don't have time to do stuff and the workday just drags you along by the ear, we got to stop that. All right, because if you are like me or my sister, if you put me at a desk and I have things to do, I can sit there all day until I finish just trying to power through. But that's not the smart way to do it. The smart way to do it is to figure out what your priorities are and give yourself enough time to complete those priorities, right? People always talk about multitasking, but like realistically, you're doing yourself a disservice trying to do many things at once versus focusing all of your energy on one thing, right? Imagine if you were in the kitchen cooking, right? And then you were trying to go and respond to emails and do your toenails at the same time. That is multitasking, but like, are you really doing a good job at all three of those things? Is the food burnt? Do your nails look good? Like, what are you doing? Focus on one thing at a time, because you can give 100% of your energy, and then the return on whatever you put your energy in will be that much better. All right, that's just my take on it. You're free to do whatever you want. These are just suggestions, okay? So that is really it for this midweek check-in. I want y'all to answer those questions, okay? Use that to set a positive tone for the end of the week, because it's about to be Friday, baby, and we're gonna go through the end of the week having completed some of our goals, right? Because we're focused on progress, not perfection. You might not hit everything that you set to do, but did you push the ball forward this week? That's the question. All right. Also, something I want to share is I do read a lot of books. I'm reading all throughout the year. I'm in a book club, and I also have my own personal reading list of things that I just have to read. So how do I put that in my schedule? I add a little bit of reading time into my schedule every day. So anyway, this month's book, I'm rereading an oldie but goodie. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. So if you have read that book, get in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts were. But I will be probably sharing little tidbits from that throughout as long as I'm reading the book. So if you guys want to join in on that, definitely get in the comments below and let me know. We can have a great discussion about that, because that book is like my jam. Okay, that is like right up my alley. You know what I mean? I need to set little small habits so that shit just happens. I will also be sharing podcasts that I found value in as well. And there are so many podcasts out here. Like, it's something about watching people talk that you just never know what's going to come out or what you might learn. So I'll be sharing things like that as well. But in the meantime, you guys answer the questions below. Set good intentions for the rest of this week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you need more tips or weekly motivation, don't forget to find me on Facebook at By Damita Jo. Definitely follow me on Instagram, and embrace the journey, not the destination. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.